Hey guys, happy Friday, almost Saturday. Hope you're doing well. Today I want to remind you of something, and that is that magic has limitations. It has limitations, and people have free will. We can't get everything we want. Okay? Now, we absolutely are abundant beings. We have all certain abilities, and we are way more than these physical bodies. Okay? However, at the moment, we are in a physical world and it comes with its limitations. And there are laws of field physics, there are laws of nature, there are all kinds of laws that do apply in this, reality, if you want to call it like that. Okay, having said that, I am fully aware that people have misconceptions about magic because, we've been programmed to think that magic is something limitless, something where we can get anything we want. And that's basically because, there are certain cartoons and certain movies, and it's just portrayed like that in the media. And then, we create our mindset, oh, if it's magic, it can do anything. Well, it can't. It can't. So, also, another idea that a lot of people have these days because of the manifestation community is that people don't have free will, that others don't have free will. So, basically, that we can control everything, that we can force everyone and everything to do whatever we want. That is not true. Not true. Every single being has free will. They have free will, and this is why magic doesn't always work. Now, magic is very natural, right? It's a part of us, a natural part of us. So it does work in line with natural laws. And what magic is basically meant to do is to help you. It's like a helping tool, right? To get what you want, absolutely. However, it's meant to be used on healing a connection. So when there's some kind of a problem, we use magic to heal that problem, to heal that block, and to basically, be for us to be able to get our ex back or something like that. But we don't use it to force somebody to be with us. Absolutely not. The thing is that detachment is a very big and important part of magic. Surrendering, letting go, allowing, right? Accepting things, accepting, accepting the fact that love is something that's not guaranteed. Love is something that cannot be controlled. We cannot force love. We cannot force people to be with us. We cannot control people. And there's a lot of other things in our life that we cannot control, not just love. I'm just talking about it like that because, majority of the people want their exes back. There are things that are meant to happen to us. We are not in control of everything. We are not the creators. We absolutely have choices and have free will, but we need to go through some things for us to grow and learn. Facts. I much more prefer religion over manifestation community, which, maybe you would think because I'm a practitioner that I'm more aligned with that, but absolutely not because it makes no sense and it's telling you things that are really bad for your mental health. And they kind of try to prove it as something that is quantum physics or quantum mechanics. But if you have ever researched quantum physics and quantum mechanics, you're going to see it doesn't work like that. We are not gods. We can't force everything, and we are not in control of everything, right? Now, religion, on the other hand, every religion has this huge space for miracles, belief in miracles, but it also has that space where you surrender, right? You surrender, and you are aware that there are forces above you, whatever you want to call them, doesn't matter. Whatever your religion is, but you are not the one that is in control of everything, and you're not the one that can force people to do things you want them to do. Having said that, I wanted to do a little intro before I answer the question that I get asked, sorry, every now and then, and it is about a very popular spell. And I want you all to remember that magic has limitations, that people have free will, and I want you to remember what magic truly is. Okay? I'm completely honest always about it. So before I answer this question, I want to remind you of everything I just said. Magic is real, magic does work, but it has limitations. It doesn't force people. Now, let's get back to the spell I wanted to discuss. So it's the Intranquil Spirit spell. Bet you've heard of it, right? Very popular, viral, whatever. Now, I'm not gonna get into whether this is possible or not, or whether this can work or not. The only reason why I'm not gonna get into it is because I personally have never performed this spell, so from first hand, I don't have like information. But with me having said everything that I just said in the beginning, you can kind of see what I think of it. What I want to get into is the concept of this spell. I think this is way more important than if it can potentially work or not. Now, I absolutely understand that when somebody breaks up with us and it's somebody we love more than anything in the world, we will be desperate and we will want to try anything and everything, right? Um, to, get the result that we want, to get them back, to force them, whatever. We don't care about how it's going to happen. We just want it done because we miss them and we love them. However, let me explain the concept of this spell to you. And I bet you know the concept, but I just want you to really think about this concept, okay? So, the idea is to find a restless spirit, so a spirit that can't be at rest because, for whatever reason, and then that spirit will torture your ex until your ex goes back to you, because they're going to be scared of the torture and of the spirit torturing them. And which doesn't necessarily need to happen as actual spirit torture, but some other, doesn't matter, right? And then after you die, you're supposed to take the place of this restless spirit and become a restless spirit. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you a moment to think about this, and then I'm going to break it down for you. Okay, so, like I said, I understand people are desperate and want their exes back. They just want their ex back, they want to be loved. Get it, okay? However, if you really love a person, do you want a restless spirit to torture them? And do you want them to come back to you only because they're forced, only because they're scared of the torture? I mean, is that love? Or would you prefer to heal the connection energetically and for them to maybe bring a decision that they want to come back because they really love you and miss you and want to be with you? Which one would you prefer, seriously? And then I'm not gonna even get into the part where you agree to become a restless spirit just so your ex can forcefully be with you. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna let you think about this concept. And to answer everybody, no, I do not perform this spell or any spell like that. Absolutely not. I think that magic is a beautiful thing. I think it's a very natural thing. I think that we should use it because we can. And I think that love is a very beautiful thing, and that people sometimes will, break up for stupid reasons, and they'll be stubborn for stupid reasons, and they're going to be missing out on very beautiful connections. And this is why I do what I do, right? And that's what I truly think, that they'll be sorry afterwards because they haven't tried, because they have been too stubborn. And this is why I love my job. However, I think that the idea of forcing somebody to do something they absolutely do not want to do is repulsive. Wouldn't you agree? I think that free will is something that needs to exist. It's wonderful and beautiful, just like you love your free will and want to keep your free will. So should everybody else, right? I think that the concept of manifestation and the idea that you can force everything and get everything is very delusional, can drive you insane, and is very low vibrational because you're really trying to force things. You are being delusional that you're some kind of a god. And think about it. Think about it. There is a way to use magic. There is a way to, really benefit from it. You are, supposed to as well, in my opinion. But it has limitations for a reason. For a reason. Okay. And it just wouldn't be okay to force people to do things, just like you wouldn't like to be forced to do something. Just imagine if, I don't know, um, somebody you find really repulsive and just don't like them, but they have a crush on you, and that there is some kind of a spell where they would use a restless spirit to force you to be with them. How would you feel about that? I bet you wouldn't like it. So, I don't know. That's all I'm gonna say. I am aware that people that, you know, even try those things, they're desperate. Their idea is not to necessarily force or to have bad intentions. I understand that. They just want their person back in any way possible. But yeah, think about it. Anyways, that's what I have for you today. I hope you understood what I'm trying to say, and I hope it was beneficial. And again, you have free will, so you absolutely have free will to try anything, right? But this is just my 5 cents. Bye.